while getting this video up, there's the fact that we had to wait 2 weeks for this chapter. And there's also a sad fact that we have to wait another 2 weeks for this chapter. Or for the next chapter, rather. The thing, though, that will aggravate me immensely more is the fact that after hearing the 10th opening for the Black Clover anime, I can't put that in the background of this video or it'll get copyright stricken and probably taken down. That song is goddamn fire. Anyway, let's talk about the chapter, because it was a pretty quick read. We didn't get, unfortunately, we didn't get a lot. Was it like 15 pages this week? It's during the holiday times, and with the 2 week gaps. After the next one, after this one, in 13 days, we should be back on normal schedule. But after that, again, hoping we get back to a much more normal pace, because right now with the way that it's set, we got the whole, oh crap, the spade is invaded, oh we gotta wait 2 weeks for it. And this one now it's gonna take action, we gotta take another 2 weeks. Not even that, also William going up against Zeno is gonna be really cool. This starts out, now that they're attacking, gets word. He gets on his, he gets on his Windhawk and ends up going to the Golden Dawn's base. And at that point, all these guys are just using all their spells, attacking the guys. They're calling themselves the Dark Disciples, who are it's the minion group of the Dark Triad. This is Zeno's crew. If he has more than two, I don't know. I mean, we got at least one. I really like the whole fact that anywhere on them that's black, they're getting kind of a black aura. The sleeves and the fur coating and whatnot looks just really neat in aspect. That's a little bit of a design aspect to it. Very, very cool. It's a small thing that's fun, and I like that it will be seemingly a representation of demonic stuff. It's not just Asta with the anti-magic. It seems to be demons and devils, just a trait about them, which again very much liked. We saw it with the way that the War Devil's body was formatted. That kind of was the darkness was a little bit like his clothes, and I'm guessing that's going to be with Magicula as well. But this guy, at least the one that he actually looks like Bazby now that I think about it, from Bleach. But he he's got these big bulky guys, stone gauntlets on, and some of the members of Golden Dawn are going in. He's like, oh, you're also using stone magic, and just smashes him against the wall. One shot, just blood spurting out the mouth. Poor dude. Dude is not, he's not doing too well. They're just getting mowed down, and they reveal that the captain, when we saw Asta invade that little tech walker back in the Spade Kingdom, that guy, has a fraction of demonic power within him, and Asta noted that it was small, and we found it was about 5%. The Dark Disciple guys are about 40%, so they're going to be the mid-boss guys. They are the ones that are, we're going to be working up to. They'll probably be smaller, arc bad guys, because I still predict that the way that the Spade arc or Spade saga will go is you have the Elf Resurrection saga, you have all these different arcs that all, though are their own arc, are all aspects and pieces that lead up to the whole Elf Resurrection. And probably with this as well, I can see these guys, the Dark Disciples, being captain level, and then as when we get higher up, it's gonna take a group of them to defeat one of these guys. And them getting to be their own spot, maybe their own little arc, 10 to 20, or maybe probably more than that, probably I don't know, I guess, generous, I'll say 25 chapter little arcs for these dudes. And it's do they deserve it? And I'm yeah, if these are the guys directly elite picked below the each of the Dark Triad, and each of them are gonna have their own members, even if they aren't as threatening, these guys don't look nearly as stand out as them, obviously, but they're all going to be pretty powerful, and any of them going down is going to be significant for the for the Spade Kingdom. Again, let's assume they're around captain level. It'd be the same thing with the Clover. If they lose, when they lose a captain, though it's not oh, they're screwed now, it is a detrimental blow to their overall forces. And then the whole fact that, they're able to do 40, well, how much is, one of the Dark Triad members going to be able to produce? They can do up to 80. So that's going to be really cool. I'm hoping that with 80, they're gonna not just have that, you know, dark aura on them. It's also gonna be like, you know, a horn. It's gonna have, because we know that forbidden magic will give them horns, and you know, it's an aspect of forbidden magic itself. Like looking at Sekri, Asta, when he gets his black form up, he's got the horns. The demons all have horns. Each of the devils have their own set. But now face up with William, and I guess they're going for William. I suspected they were going to go for Patri, because Patri, you know, having a 5-leaf Black Clover Grimoire, would be like, oh yeah, maybe they don't know about him, because even though that, you know, they seem pretty intelligent when it comes to their, well, pretty well built when it comes to their recon. They knew to come to the Golden Dawn and whatnot. They know about, you know, Patri. The captain like Patri, who's been, you know, established for a while, and the whole Golden Dawn is they're the #1 Knight Brigade of the, you know, of the Clover Kingdom. You know, they are at top ranked of all the Knight Orders, and now that would spread word, especially something like, oh yeah, World Tree Magic, something a lot more impressive just in the you know, whole title of it. You know, and we have something like, oh, Yami's got dark magic. You know, it's rare. We got something like Mercury magic for Nozel. Very cool, but not just tree magic, world tree magic. It's an extra kind of, you know, uniqueness to it. You know, that being, you know, an art, oh, they say an arcane stage mage, something that doesn't have to be, and it is also, no, wait, his is a 3rd leaf. It's Patri's, though. It's 4-leaf, and then, you know, became 5-leaf. But got confused there for a moment. Anyway, the fact that it's, you know, such a special one, that, you know, that is exactly what they're, you know, they're gonna here for something useful. Maybe though they aren't here for Patri, and it's actually like, oh no, we mistook you, or for William, and they actually mistook him for wanting to go for Patri. I'm curious to know what they'll say when they see Patri. The fact he's got a 5-leaf Black Clover Grimoire and it's got a demon magic aspect to it. I would really like to see what their, you know, what Zenos' reaction on it is, because that would be significant. It would be a significant thing to kind of, you know, say, oh, well, where is this going to fall in their range of, you know, whether they want him or not? Because they're here for William, you know, when Zeno says, oh, you know, it's World Tree Magic, he says that for the benefit of the Spade Kingdom, he's going to take it. So obviously they are coming after these guys, not just as like, oh, we're killing them. They want to obtain them, whether they're going to brainwash them, or they have some way to like pull their magic out of their body and maybe put it to someone else. Who knows? You know, devil powers are, you know, pretty big in the series. I wouldn't put it past them, but at the same time, it's like, well, we still gotta wait to figure out some of the variables in that. But you get a new spell from William. What is this? Word for magic warding ash. I know. I'm glad I waited for the official subs. We had to wait like an extra week. Because like there was like a fan translation that came out like a week ago from like leak chapters, and then another one that came out a few days ago. And I know the first one, it was like they called it like, it was like a demon spell, and everyone that, you know, understands Black Clover is like, wait, what? We know that like there's, you know, similar to Patri, like demon light. It's like to do that you need some much more significant stuff, and it's a big deal if that is the case. But obviously that's not the correct translation. Again, glad I waited for officials. You know, we're for Shonen Jump, we're waiting to get more of the official releases for it. But then, Zenos Magic, fully revealed in this chapter. Bone Magic, which is absolutely just all aspects of that is such an exciting treat to see in this series. It's one of those magics that's so badass. It's a power that's so badass that it's like, you know, these guys with more crazy, like, you know, you got spatial magic and stuff, you know, you got a time wizard and whatnot. That's just like, but bone magic is one of those ones that just hits right into the, damn, that is super badass. That doesn't even have to be fancy, it's just badass in general. And I mean, I want to talk more about like the theory I had. I did a little over a week ago about the Dark Triad's magic and the way that it can tie into this, if you haven't checked that one out. But just at the last note, you know, Yuno shows up. He sees all these members of the, you know, the Golden Dawn seemingly dead. We see that one girl that, you know, they were talking about, you know, previously. Was it like a chapter ago? You know, all these guys, and they mentioned like his fan club. There's whites in her eyes and there's blood everywhere, so it looks like they're dead. And this guy just, you know, Yuno's gonna have to smash down on him. I'm hoping Yuno is able to push him, but not win, because like I said, I think these guys, I think, like any of these Dark Disciples, they need to be kind of like the setup for the characters while they're building up to beat the, you know, member of the Dark Triad, because defeating one of the Dark Triad is significant. It's way more significant. You know, it'd be a big step at defeating them because each of the Dark Triad members would like, obviously, as we know, represents a huge level of the force within the Clover King, or sorry, the Spade Kingdom rather. It's similar to that of the Clover Kingdom. They have all their, you know, their knight captains and whatnot, and you got some, like, you know, we're not currently out in the, you know, groups captains, kind of like what Kaiser was. You got someone like Damnation who's powerful, but he's not part of them. But even when you look at all these other powerful characters, when someone like Julius was knocked out, it's like, you guys have a lot more, you know, a lot more guys, but this was a significant chunk, you know, one of their biggest guy rather. And then the Dark Triad, I imagine the only person above the three of them is Magicula, but taking out one of them is going to be a big thing. So these Dark Disciple guys, I think, are a really good building up point, you know, and then eventually we could see one of the Dark Triad members go, like, one of these, if this whole, like, first bit of the whole Spade War, they take down, like, this guy, this Basby looking dude with his mohawk. Again, that'd be a good start, because it's not jumping the gun, it's not taking out like a big guy super fast. It's a moderately fair set character. Plus, then we could have captains one-on-one. That would also be really, really fun to see, because as we know, like, a lot of the younger ones, they're gearing up to be able to, because when you look at, I stumbled over like this for a second, but like when you look at like Black Clover, like I said, all the way up to the Elf Resurrection are mostly group fights, because a lot of the main cast were still fairly rookie-ish, though obviously they had lots of big growth. For the most part, they still were very inexperienced. Right now, as we saw with Asta, you know, he's definitely at a much higher spot, not just in power, but as we saw when he was raiding that whole Spade, you know, big walking town unit, he was much more just straight experience. He was much quicker on using his swords and, you know, using which one to, you know, knowing which one to pull out and when to use it. It had just that extra tone of, you know, he has been training, not just in power, but also in knowing what to do. And experience is important. Skill is important. And even in someone like Asta, who's more of like a berserker in a lot of ways, he's more of like a sword, not like a brawler. I guess berserker is really kind of the sword equivalent of brawler in some aspects. But that's kind of like where Asta falls under. He doesn't have some specific swordsmanship. You know, he could probably pull something out for Yami, but not Asta. And again, it would be cool to see like some of the characters, like, oh yeah, you know, captains can, you know, captain versus a 40% member, you know, a 40% devil power using group, like one of these guys. Yeah, they can 1v1 them, and then obviously the Dark Triad are way more powerful. And then maybe like, you know, 10 to 20% is like where Asta and, you know, his level of people can 1v1 right now, and then group fight one of these 40% guys. It is a nice setup, and I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping these guys don't just fall away really quickly. One of the things I know, again, I'll talk about is, overall, I really like the Albrecht arc in Fairy Tail, and like the Spriggan 12 are, overall, again, a really enjoyable group. Unfortunately, I can't say all of them were great. God Serena, unfortunately, he got killed before his use could have been realized, but it wasn't them. It was the, you know, some of them had their own subordinates, similar to like how the Dark Triad have their own special units, not just like, oh, big number of foot soldier guys. It's like, no, these are our personal crew. And they didn't really get utilized as much, and I'm hoping that's not the case with, you know, with the, you know, the Dark Disciples. I'm hoping they get their own parts. They don't all have to be. It's not like, oh, each of the Dark Triad has 2. So, you know, you got 6 of these guys. You got to each take that. It doesn't. Not all of them have to be great. We can have half. You can have half of them great. You can really just have 2 of them really be a thing, and then the rest of them, you know, don't need backstory, don't need anything special about them, just need to be powerful. I'm just hoping some of them get utilized, because like this guy is, you know, just like, again, this Basby looking guy, he was introduced, he's the one that introduced this whole Dark Disciple set and the percentages of devils that are going through these guys. So I'm hoping he gets more of a spot than just, you know, a no-name powerful guy that gets defeated. But yeah, I want to go over a little bit of the theory I had of the, you know, the design and layout of the Dark Triad. And I can go through it pretty quickly. It's just the whole idea, if you're still here, that with the Dark Triad members, each of them, like, imagine that, you know, with Zenos Magic, that he and the, you know, other 2 members are all like a piece representing Megicula, like the bones for Zeno. One of them is like the blood, and the other one's the flesh. So you can have another blood wizard, maybe maybe have that to Vanica, and then have something for Dante, like a flesh magic, and his is just like a grotesque, monstrous, just horrifying. It would add a level of scare to them. But also, like, combined, if it's like, oh yeah, and then we make a body for Megicula. We don't need to get him one. We will forge him one through powerful demon magic. That just sounds really neat to me. And it also adds, like, a level of synergy on top of it for each of these guys. I really want to see more spells from Zenos so bad. I really am hoping he's got, like, some big skeletal sentry. And he's got, like, one of the best ones for like reinforcement magic, because he should be able to reinforce his bones, so it'd be harder to break them, makes his body more sturdy. He could probably do some cool like Kimimaro stuff, like shoot the bones out of his fingers out like bullets. Very excited for it. I like this whole like weird freaky like almost, I can't even say spider because of the way that there's so many of these, just these eternal fangs, all these giant bone spikes just coming out of his back, standing up on him like damn Doc Ock. But anyway, yeah, comment below, tell me your thoughts about this chapter. It was short, it read really fast, but I like the hype that it got. And similar to the last chapter, because we got the 2-week wait, and again, it wasn't like, we didn't get a ton of overall material to kind of like use and speculate and connect to older parts, at least that we know of right now, for other chapters. But I really like the fact that it was laid out like it was a cliffhanger chapter, because the extra week that we gotta wait for another one, I think that those are the best time to do ones like this, where it's just a straight, you get a hype moment. It's just a raw hype moment that it's building up, and you gotta wait for the next one, but you're so excited for it. You're super stoked. But anyway, comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this chapter, tell me your thoughts are about like the choice of Zeno getting bone magic, and how do you think Yuno's gonna do in the next fight? I'm guessing that Yuno will be able to kind of like maybe get half against one of these Dark Disciple members. I'm really hoping he doesn't defeat them right away. Again, 5%, you've already established 5% is easy for them. So, 20%, 40% shouldn't be, they shouldn't be able to run through them, because then it's like, well, then a couple of them grouped up should be fine against, against Zeno. Hopefully not. Regardless of which, comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this whole chapter, and tell me your thoughts are about, events coming up. I really appreciate the thumbs up the video, but friend the like button, the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. With that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed. I thank you all for listening. Bye.